Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Bryn Terfel, Carols and Christmas Songs with conductor Tegwyn Evans, along with the orchestra of the Welsh National Opera, the Nidos Children's Choir, harpist Catherine Finch, tenor Rolando Fiathon, and soprano Gwar Edwards, which was released on October 29, 2010. This album was released in two CDs, the first one consisting of Christmas carols in their original language, mostly in English, a couple in German, and one in Spanish. And the second disc consists of Welsh versions of the Christmas carols and even Welsh Christmas carols, with only one exception, and that is Mary's Boy Child with the accompaniment of the piano. I have been wanting to review something from Bryn Terfel for quite a long time. First of all, I got to know him as a singer ever since I was about 10 years old, and I knew him by name only, and especially through his repertoire. He seems to possess a huge breadth of roles, from the lyrical roles of Guglielmo from Così fan tutte, all the way up to the slightly more dramatic roles of Donna and the Herald from Das Rheingold and Lohengrin respectively, to his most recent engagements in both the Heldenbariton and bass baritone repertoire, with the likes of the Dutchman from Der Fliegende Holländer, Wotan from the Ring tetralogy, Hans Sachs, Mephistopheles from Faust, the four villains, namely Landolf, Coppelius, Miracle, and Dappertutto, and even Boris Godunov. There is no doubt that Mr. Terfel has been very well known for all of these wonderful, challenging, yet exceptionally masculine bass baritone roles. And I've always loved the color of his voice. It has that roundness and richness and virility which I really adore, and he manages to throw himself in everything he does. In my opinion, I feel like he is very much at home singing all of these villainous characters like Scarpia from Tosca and even Mephistopheles from not only Faust but also La Damnation de Faust, and even some ambiguous characters like the Dutchman from Wagner's Der Fliegende Holländer, and even some kings like Mussorgsky's Boris Godunov. There is no doubt that Bryn Terfel is a fascinating singing actor. He not only has his booming and magnificent bass baritone voice, but his stage presence is something to really admire, as it leaves you on the edge of your seat. And this particular Christmas album managed to bring that booming bass baritone voice to use, but also managed to show some lyrical sides to him, which should be no surprise as to why I also enjoy Bryn Terfel's lyrical singing. It is so well measured and clean and absolutely lovely to listen to. Every time he sings with a mezza voce voice, he was able to really bring in a lot of fine nuances, a lot of elegance, and loads of charm, which also makes him very endearing as a singing actor. And this Christmas album certainly was a fine testament to not only his vocal prowess, but also his overall charisma. The album started off with his superb rendition of O Come All Ye Faithful, and not only did this album have such famous Christmas carols like White Christmas, Green Sleeves, Away in a Manger, Silent Night, and many others, but also some traditional Welsh melodies and even some traditional English Christmas carols. And let's not forget about that one Spanish Christmas carol in which he also had a duet with Rolando Fiathon. And let's not also forget the fact that with White Christmas, he even had a duet with Bing Crosby's voice, and their voices blended so beautifully. Their deep, rich, and sumptuous voices were an absolutely fantastic complement to each other. And this is coming from someone who kind of grew up with Bing Crosby, not just as a singer, but also as an actor. one can definitely tell that the charisma that these two gentlemen have just match each other so well. I also have to give a lot of kudos to the harpist, Catherine Finch, for her equally elegant harp playing, and even Rolando Fiafon, who also sang the Spanish Christmas duet alongside Mr. Terfel, and Gwar Edwards, whose lilting, light, and lovely soprano voice was an absolutely fine compliment to Bryn Terfel's masculine, tall, and focused bass baritone voice. And I also loved how the penultimate track of this album was a really lovely rendition of Mary's Boy Child with piano accompaniment. And even before all of that, there was a very uplifting and absolutely lovely Welsh Christmas carol, which really kept my spirits up, complete with a chorus and such a wonderful orchestra. And what more can I expect from the chorus and orchestra of the Welsh National Opera and, of course, the Nidus Children's Choir? They were absolutely fabulous from beginning to end, and I have to say that Tegwyn Evans led such a wonderful ensemble. So overall, if you are a fan of Bryn Terfel or even Welsh Christmas carols in general, then I have to say that this album is for you. Everything about Bryn Terfel, carols, and Christmas songs was just so amazing to listen to, not only from Mr. Terfel himself, but also the fine conducting done by Maestro Evans, and of course, the fine guest appearances made by Catherine Finch, Rolando Fiafon, and Gwar Edwards. And with that said, I give Bryn Terfel, Carols and Christmas Songs, a well-deserved rating of 5 out of 5 stars. It is a must-listen, and of course, a must-own. If you are hankering for wonderful Welsh Christmas carols, and of course some popular ones that you already know, then this is for you. And for those of you who already heard this album, what did you think of it? Did you really feel like Bryn Terfel was at his absolute strongest all the way through? Was there another singer who kind of stole his thunder? Or did you feel like there was something that just didn't really hold up? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in much later where I review our favorite things starring Placido Domingo, Charlotte Church, Vanessa Williams, and Tony Bennett. So until then, happy holidays, everybody.